Hi guys, and welcome. Steafania here on this glorious sunny day once again in this beautiful part of Sicily, surrounded by olive trees, and I have just found a really nice spot here to just have a little chat with you and share with you something that I experienced a couple of days ago, where I was in a supermarket, and I was at the checkout ready to pay for some of my items, and all of a sudden I heard this screaming and yelling and criticizing, and I couldn't work out what was going on. And I turned around and I saw this guy, and he was yelling at his significant other. And what had happened, I believe she was holding some items in her hands, some goods, and she dropped, I think, what looked like pasta. And as she went down to pick it up, she then dropped another item. And he just went right off at her and criticizing her and telling her how clumsy she was, and how she wasn't concentrating and everything. And I just went, wow. It just made me think, and I really felt for her. She went really red and got embarrassed. She was mortified. She was a bit angry, but she didn't say a word. She just took it all in, and I really felt for her. And this is why my topic for today is on criticism, because what I witnessed there was someone that was really critiquing somebody else, and I really felt for her, and I felt her pain, because I too have been in situations where I have been criticized, and it definitely isn't a very good feeling, and I'm sure a lot of you out there have experienced this, which leads me into discussing the three different types of criticism. Because what's really important is to remember that we can deal with criticism accordingly. We're not going to be able to stop criticism, but we can certainly change the way we react to criticism, and that's what's really fundamentally important. So there's three different formats of criticism. The first one is self-criticism. The second one is negative criticism, and the third one is constructive criticism. Now, the first one, which is self-criticism, is probably the worst one. That's the one where we find ourselves, we have this, negative talk going on, and we are constantly criticizing ourselves, telling ourselves what a terrible job we've done. We're just always stuffing it up. We never get it right. We're never enough. We're not going to make it. We're always failing. This is all the self-negative talk that we, tell ourselves. But what we can do to overcome that is really catch ourselves, first of all, when we're self-criticizing ourselves, and try and be more of a cheerleader to yourself. Try and, if say, for example, take this for example. If you were to, say something to your best friend or your child, or someone you really love, would you criticize them like that? What would you say to them? Try and be a loving parent to yourself. Try and be that cheerleader that really cheers yourself on and tells yourself you're doing a great job, you've done great, you're getting better, you're just doing a phenomenal job. Praise yourself. Tell yourself that you are enough and that you're doing a great job. The second one is negative talk, and that one is where we have that significant other that is always criticizing us, or that person in our life, not necessarily our significant other, but that person in our lives that is always criticizing, always picking out the terrible things we do, how awful we are, and how we're always making an idiot of ourselves, and we just never get it right, and that job you did was just absolutely appalling. Well, that type of person, that critique that's always criticizing you, you'll probably find that, you know, they are their worst own critique to themselves. They are probably, you know, criticize themselves and break themselves down so much that they feel that it's a need also to criticize others. But what's really important is not to let it in. The best way dealing with that is A, don't let it in, and secondly, tell that person and say, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I know it's my first time, or I know that I'm, you know, struggling with this, but I know that I'm getting better. I'm really working at it and I am enjoying myself. I'm just getting better all the time. So don't allow that criticism to break you down and make you feel like a failure. You can choose. You choose whether you want to let it in or not. So choose not to let it in, thank that person, and then just move on. And the third one is constructive criticism. And this one here is where we can take criticism constructively, particularly if it's your boss at work or your significant other that might say, you know, you've done a really great job, but you always seem to get this part wrong. You know, take what you can from it, from the experience. Take the experience and turn it into a positive. Learn what you can, take the good part out of it, look at it as a positive, take it constructively, and then just move on. Don't let that break you down. Don't turn into a victim. Don't get all defensive. Just say to that person, thank you. How did I do? How can I do it better? Ask for some feedback, because when you get feedback, you actually learn and you take it on board and take it as an experience rather than take it, you know, negatively. Take it constructively and then move on. So they are the three different types of criticism. They are the three different steps to get over criticism. I invite you to try them next time you find yourself in a situation of being criticized, because we can certainly not control, we can't control what other people tell us, but we can certainly control how we react to criticism, and that's what's fundamentally important. Taking it on, flipping it over, turning your self-criticism into positive self-talk. Negative criticism from people that critique you, thanking them for sharing and telling them that you are getting better. And the constructive criticism, take what you can, turn it into a positive, learn from it, and then move on. All right, I thank you for listening. And if you like this video, please press like, share it, follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and please share your comments. I'd be interested to know any comments that you have, any questions that you have. And I send you love and passion from me to you, and I'll catch you in my next video. Okay, bye for now.